Welcome to Office 365 Collaboration. I'm Chris Burns from Techie Gurus. Jenna is on here too as well, so if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat below. And Connor's going to join in a little bit, and we're going to show some collaboration tools. So these are our social medias. Usually within one business day, I post everything to YouTube. So you'd be able to see any webinar that we've done in the past, and any future webinars as well. So the goals for today, our goals for this whole series have been to basically show you tips on how to work from home. And then you have the issue where I just forgot to start my camera. So let's do that real quick. Hold on one second. All right, next time I won't forget. So our whole goal has been to show you tips and tricks on how to work from home, the security aspects of it, and things like that. I present with some levity. Again, my humor sometimes is inappropriate. I usually keep it in check on these. And we're always focused on security. So Zoom sends out email reminders if you register for any of our webinar series. You should get those the day before and within an hour of the actual webinar going live. So we only have 2 of these left. We're in the process of planning additional webinars. So once we get those, we'll actually send those out, or we'll post them on our social medias as well. So next week, we'll be covering securing Office 365, and then the following week, we'll go over Microsoft Planner, which is a really cool way of doing some light project management inside your business. So the agenda for today, we're gonna do some demos, but really we're just gonna set the stage, how to collaborate in Office 365 specifically. You can do this in G Suite as well. You can do this in other tools. Dropbox supports some levels of collaboration as well. So just keep that in mind, that we're going to focus on Office 365, but there are other ways to do this. So let's define working with somebody. So collaboration really is the action of working with someone to produce or create something. So in our world, a lot of it's Office documents, right? So it's doing PowerPoints, it's doing Excel spreadsheets, it's doing Word documents. The people you're going to involve typically are going to be internal employees, or it actually could be between organizations. So maybe you and a customer are working on that. The things that you can do inside of Office 365, you can do it just like that. You can have, you can work internal with teams, you can work external with external facing people, and you can do all that collaboration together. So you're not stuck with just working inside of your business. So let's give an example. So we're talking about working together on a project. Now in this case, we're not talking about like Microsoft project or project management. We're talking about, you have a project, you have something that you need to get done. Maybe it's a sales presentation, right? So you bring the sales team in, or you bring a couple of people from the sales team in, you're trying to work together on a PowerPoint. Well, work from home has put a little damper on that, and maybe you're a couple states away, maybe you're a couple cities away. So one of the things you can do with Office 365 is you can both be actually editing the PowerPoint simultaneously. And that's something we're going to show a little bit later. You can do the same thing with Excel, Word, and pretty much you can also do it with OneNote as well, but you can pretty much do it with the entire Office suite. Now, there's a caveat to that. You have to store the files in SharePoint Online. So you have to have a full version of Office 365 with the applications enabled so that you can actually do that. Maybe you're doing it in a meeting as well. So one of the other things you can do is you can actually be editing it and sharing it via Teams meeting and recording it and actually working together so you can see each other as well. And you can see where in the document everybody is. Again, we'll show that at the end. So if you have any questions about any of this, again, just drop in the chat and we'll get to them we'll get to them just after the demo part of it. So where's the data? This is kind of what I just covered, but if you're in a traditional business sense, the data might be on your server. The challenge with that is you can't share documents. You can't collaborate with documents simultaneously when they're on a server. You're limited to one user at a time. So one person can have PowerPoint open, but if like Connor, for instance, tries to join and he tries to open up the PowerPoint, it's going to say, whoa. So Chris already has this open. I can't edit this. I can only view it. SharePoint Online gets around that by allowing you both to actually be in the document and editing it simultaneously. And actually you can track the changes based on who does the edits as well. So In our case, we enjoy putting everything in SharePoint because it does allow that collaboration to happen. We don't even traditionally use a on-site file server anymore because of that reasoning. So that's something to keep in mind with the way that your business is set up today. Maybe you're not set up to do this. Maybe it's something that you need to look at from a project perspective and take care of that. Like figure out where you need to move the data to. Like I said, Dropbox supports this, G Suite supports this, and Office 365 all support this. So once you move your data, now you have another challenge, right? How do you back it up? So with Google Docs or G Suite or Office 365 and even Dropbox, there are backup solutions out there, and we highly recommend that you implement them. There's some tools built into each one that allows you to do versioning. So that means if I edit a file today and I edit the same file tomorrow, but maybe I screwed something up, I can go back to the version from before. Now, it depends on how many versions you're allowed, and that's not really backup. That's just keeping versions, because if something happens and you break one of the early versions and you don't realize it, and then let's say that you can only have 10 versions of a file. On the 11th version, the first one drops off, and maybe the first one is where you made the mistake. Well, you're not gonna be able to go back to that. So you got to think of it like this. It's not backup, it's not recovery. And if something happens to the document, if it gets deleted, if you can't recover the document, you might actually lose all the versions as well, even if if you're able to recover the document. So again, it's something to keep in mind, that you want to make sure that you're still backing this stuff up. There are tools out there for all of what I've mentioned. So now takeaway 2 is, how do we do this, right? So how do we set the business up so that we can actually do this? And executives need to have a table talk inside and say, okay, how are we going to collaborate? How does maybe it's sales, maybe it's operations, how are they going to be set up to actually do the collaboration to make sure that things can get done, especially when you're not in the same place anymore? Again, it depends on what kind of document you're working on. If it's an Office document, we're good. If it's something else, it might be like, let's say you're trying to do a drawing, let's say you're an engineering firm. You may have to just set up a Teams meeting, have one person share it, and they might have to be on there and sharing the screen, and you might have to just do the collaboration that way. That's reality. PDFs are the same way. You can't have 2 people editing them at the same time. So think about that and kind of set the business up around that mindset. So, and if you don't have a tool today that can do that, obviously talk to your provider, talk to your internal IT, talk to us. We can usually help you find a tool that will help your business actually move forward with working like this. And then obviously train. Like, hey, if you're going to implement this, make sure that we take baby steps and train people along the way so that the buy-in is there with all of your employees, and that it makes it a lot easier for the transition. So in Office 365, there's really good ways to like organize people. So you can do groups. You can do this inside of Teams as well, and they actually are one and the same. You can do it outside Teams, but they show up in Teams as well. So you have your entire organization. So you can have, like for us Techie Gurus, we can have all company one, but then we break down like sales and marketing into their own teams. And then we also have operations and things like that broken down into teams. You can further break those down into channels. So maybe sales is inside sales, outside sales. You can break a team into a channel and have inside salespeople in one, outside salespeople in another, because those are the ones that are going to collaborate. If they need to collaborate together, they can just do it inside the sales. So you're not limiting the business from setting this up. You're just trying to organize it according to like your org chart. Maybe you even want to set up a channel or a group for a specific project. Maybe there's a big project you're doing. You landed a big customer. You need to do a big project, and you need to pull from multiple different groups inside of your business. You can make a group that's temporarily named for that channel or for that project, and actually invite people inside of it and collaborate together. So it's very flexible, very fluid, something that really can help most businesses. And then at the end of the day, you can even invite external people. So maybe this project, you want to invite a couple of employees from them into it to collaborate on a couple of things. It could be data, it could be anything where they can share data. Again, you can invite them in, they can log in, they can see everything, and we can limit like what they can see. So they won't be able to see internal documents, only be able to see what you're trying to share with them in the business. So let's go through some demos. So what I've done is I've set up a customer demo account for us. Connor's going to join in, and we're going to show a PowerPoint an Excel spreadsheet, and then we're going to show how you can actually start a meeting in Teams, invite someone, and actually record it. And then after that, I'll cover like where the video actually goes, and I might even show that to show you guys where it goes. It goes into Microsoft Stream. It's very powerful. You can store all your meetings in there. You can download them. It creates a transcript. It's really cool from the perspective of if someone misses it, they can actually get the transcript and actually read through it if they need to. So let me stop this share. And okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go to portal.office.com and log in. I'm doing this all in a web browser. You can do this with the actual applications installed. So because I'm doing this in a demo environment, I already have these installed, so I don't want to show my information. What I'm trying to show is the customer. So when you log in to portal.office.com, you get access to Outlook, OneDrive, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You can edit everything in here. If you open a file in here, there's also an option to open it in the desktop app as well. So if you start in the web, you can finish in the desktop app if you want. So what we're going to do is I'm going to close these because I want to show you guys. All right, so my demo account only has access to 2 files. So we have a little PowerPoint presentation here. If you don't know, this is Microsoft's new gaming consoles coming out this fall. So we just want to have a little fun with this. So I'll click on this. And as you can see, I'm in PowerPoint. It's loading it up for me. I got 4 slides. And you can see a little CJ up here. So if I mouse over that, you can see Connor's editing this. And right now he's on slide 4. So if I go to the location, any changes that Connor makes, he can type there, he can change anything he wants. You can see it live changing on my screen. Now, typically we'd probably do this in like a Teams call. Even if we weren't sharing the screen, we'd both just open up the file and we'd be able to talk and do it from there. But this is just an example of what you can do. Now we could be chatting too. Yeah, so he's changing the color. So we could be chatting in Teams. We don't necessarily need a meeting. We could just be typing back and forth saying, you know what, maybe change this. Traditionally, though, a phone call or a Teams call is a little bit better. So I'll close this. And what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll edit this little Excel document. This is a maximum tolerable downtime calculator we came up with. So basically, it's a way of saying my business revenue is this. If I have a day of downtime, this is how much it's costing me. So as you can see, Connor is also editing it. You can see him moving around. You can see what cell he's in. He's probably going to change the color here. Or he's going to make me a liar, one of the two. Oh, I'll change color. There you go. Yeah, Connor, go ahead and change like the yearly revenue. Set it to something different. There you go. So as you can see live, we can see what Connor's doing, and Connor can see the same thing at his end. So if I start going in here and I start saying, you know what, maybe we're open 16 hours a day. He's seeing these same changes live on his side. So this is really powerful. This is something really cool where you don't have to be in the same building. You can be spread out. You can do this. It doesn't really take that much bandwidth to even do as well. So I'll close this. And by the way, when you close this, it automatically saves it. So any changes we've done are already automatically saved, and you can see that up there at the top. So another thing, it's really cool. You don't have to remember to save things that way. So now we're just going to go, we're going to our calendar. I'm just going to meet now. I have my audio turned off now because we're doing the webinar. So I'm just going to do a meeting with Connor. And join now. So I just started a meeting right now. So what I want to do is I want to invite Connor. So now it goes through and it calls Connor, and Connor will either join or just hang up on me if he's not available. But from inside of here, one thing we can do is we can start recording. So when you start recording this, like I said, what it does is it records to Microsoft Stream. Microsoft Stream, we'll leave this, is very powerful in the fact that you can store up to 500 gigs. It depends on what version of Office 365 you've purchased. You can have up to 500 gigs of video internal. which is ridiculous because it's 1080p usually for resolution. So you can store hours upon hours of video. What you can see here is there are groups. So I've created a channel inside the company for webinars, and I probably didn't assign this user access to that because I'm trying to hide it. So if I record this, if I start recording this, we'll give it a minute. It's saying it's recording, privacy, things like that. Maybe we'll type in chat. All right, so we'll stop recording it. Yep. Okay, and right there it tells you right there. It says, "Hey, look, this is gonna be available in stream right after this is done." So we got it. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna hang up on Connor now. He can hear me, so I'm just gonna hang up on him and end this meeting. And the way that Microsoft's been working through COVID is it takes a little bit. You see some of the webinars we've had for our content. There you go. It's processing it. So it depends on how long the meeting is. It'll take a few minutes to process. And what it's doing is it's formatting the video, but then it's also then going to create the transcript. So if we want to see, we can share this video, we can download it, but we've got to let the processing happen. So, and if we go here, the three little dots, you can update the video details, and you'll see right here that you could upload a subtitle. Once it's done, we can actually check this box for auto-generate the captions, and it uses artificial intelligence to go through and actually create everything that you said during that meeting and publish it. Now, it's not perfect. It's like kind of like how you give voicemail to text, but it's a lot better than that. But that's the idea behind it. So it's going to take a few minutes, so we'll just go back. We'll stop there. Go back to the presentation. Oops. So what happens, we have too many windows open. All right. So if you have any questions about that, again, just go ahead and ask us. One of the offers that we want to do is offer you a 30-minute consultation. I'll have a conversation with you. It doesn't have to be anything serious. It could be anything about inside your business. We can talk about the Excel spreadsheet we just showed you about maximum tolerable downtime. If you want to talk about the Xbox, we can talk about that as well. But if you want to just talk about how you can leverage some of the tools you're already using, it's a good time just to book a call with me, and we can sit there and we can have a conversation about it and see if we can help you utilize the things you're already paying for better. Maybe help your business grow from where you are today to where you need to be tomorrow. Because, with the uncertainty with how long this is going to last, it's something to think about. It's something that you really need to take into consideration. And maybe it's a way to cut costs in the future. Maybe you can have a remote workforce and not have to have as much real estate. So take advantage of this. Please schedule time with me. You'll see my calendar is booked, but what you'll see is anytime I have available, you can book it and we'll have that call. So any kind of feedback you have, questions, comments, anything, shoot an email over to us, info@techiegurus.com. You can also comment on the YouTube video once we post it. So if you go to youtube.com/techiegurus, you can post comments there, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time we post, because we're going to start posting more content on there. So with that, Jenna, do we have any questions?
We have two quick questions. So the first one is, you had mentioned like everything you guys do is in the cloud, like you don't have anything on site. Is there a downside to not having something on site to store your documents?
So the cool thing about SharePoint is you can kind of limit this, but we can keep something that's called cache copies of all the files on a local computer. So let's say we have a laptop, we encrypt our laptops so that just in case something's stolen, the data's not gone. But let's say we're going to work offline. Let's say we need to get on a plane. We can copy down files and keep copies of those files on our local machine. We can work offline. The second we get an internet connection, they sync back up to SharePoint. So there's not really a downside. It's just a different way of storing your data and then using it. It's much more flexible than being on site. Because when you're on site with a file server, you have to copy a file off, get on a plane, edit it, and then maybe you have a VPN for your business where you have to then connect to a VPN and copy the file back. This eliminates all that. This allows you to basically just have an internet connection and securely and safely update your data and make changes.
Awesome. And then the second question, Is there a limit to how many people can be editing a document at once if you're on the same document?
I don't know the total limit off the top of my head. I've
But it's
seen
more than one.
Yeah, I've seen like 10 people in a document before. I'll say this: if you have 10 people editing a document at once, you're gonna have problems. Typically, unless you're talking. But yeah, typically it's gonna be a smaller team that's gonna be modifying. But you can absolutely have people in there viewing it, not making changes. Yeah, it doesn't. You can all see the changes live. What we'll do is in the description on YouTube, we'll go find the limit. I just don't know off the top of my head. We'll find the limit. We'll post in the description. So
Awesome. Thank you.
okay, all right. So next week we're going to talk a little bit about securing Office 365. This kind of plays back into best practices on what you should do, and then the following week we'll handle Planner. And then, like I said, we're putting together our next series of webinars, and we'll kind of send that out too as well. So, respect to everybody's time. We appreciate everybody that joins today. We appreciate anybody that watches us on YouTube later. Be safe out there, and we'll see you again next week.